In Warsaw, Indiana, there stands a farmhouse. From the outside, it looks completely normal, quiet, rustic, and charming. But step inside, and a dark mystery begins to unfold. Strange black flies gather in a corner of the room and suddenly fall dead without any warning. Unseen voices echo from empty rooms as if the house itself is trying to speak. And there's one more dark, mysterious fact, something so terrifying that even those who lived through it struggle to explain. You may have seen this story dramatized in the A Haunting series, but the woman at the heart of it all, Jennifer Patterson, came forward herself and bravely told the full truth.
Tell them my story, but then to have them make it so dramatic and dramatize it. And, it was almost like they were cutting and piecing my words together and saying that I didn't care. The way that they made the ghost look, I never...
So, what is the real story behind Jennifer Patterson's haunted house in Indiana?
And that's exactly why we chose to examine this case. We started this channel to bring you real stories, the ones that blur the line between truth and legend. Hit that subscribe button and join us for the next one.
The year was 1973, and Jennifer's excitement was at its peak as she threw a small housewarming party with friends and family. Everything seemed perfect. The air was light, the night warm, and everyone celebrated what was supposed to be a new chapter of hope and happiness. But just as the party was in full swing, an eerie shift occurred. Suddenly, a man appeared out of nowhere, his face shadowed, an expression unreadable. He stepped forward and in a low, urgent whisper warned, "There's something in this house." At the time, she dismissed it as superstition, convincing herself it was just a strange prank, until the experiences began to intensify. Later, as the house emptied and quietly settled, Jennifer climbed the stairs to retire for the night. But just as she was about to drift to sleep, something stirred in her memory, a faint sound from a distant room. She froze, her heart pounding. The noise was soft at first, a faint creak, a whisper. With a mixture of fear and curiosity, Jennifer tiptoed down the hallway and opened the door. The moment she did, the sound abruptly stopped. Nothing, just silence. Shaken but trying to convince herself it was nothing, Jennifer returned to bed, unaware that this was only the beginning of a nightmare that would not let go. Days passed, and the haunting began to take hold more intensely. Strange black flies, without any apparent source, began gathering in one corner of the room, their numbers growing with disturbing persistence, until one by one, they slowly fell dead right there, as if something unseen was drawing their life away. Jennifer would smell the faint, sickly odor of aftershave filling the air, though no one else used such a scent. Cold drafts would ripple through the house, brushing past her skin with an unnatural chill that no heater or open window could explain. One afternoon, while working in the quiet solitude of the farmhouse, a voice, a low, haunting whisper, called out to her from the basement. At first, Jennifer thought it was her imagination, but the voice was clear, deliberate. It called again. Her pulse quickened. Trembling, she followed the voice's direction, but refused to proceed any further. She stopped at the bottom of the stairs, her fear paralyzing her. The voice continued, growing louder, more desperate, almost pleading. Weeks turned into months, and the strange events only grew worse. Eventually, Jennifer's love story took a curious turn. Her partner, a kind-hearted man who was unaware of the farmhouse's growing darkness, moved in with her. Their bond deepened, and they got married. A child was born, a bright spark of hope amidst the growing shadow. But even the child was not spared. One day, Jennifer's young son was sitting by the bookshelf, staring intently at the drawings in his notebook, when he suddenly started talking to someone unseen, holding a conversation as if replying to an invisible presence.
Our son was reading, and then he would turn the book to show the picture to somebody that wasn't there in the room.
While Jennifer and her husband exchanged worried glances, desperately trying to believe it was just his imagination. But deep down, they knew something far more sinister was unfolding. Desperate for answers, they turned to paranormal investigators. Experts arrived with EMF detectors, digital recorders, and specialized equipment, prepared to document the real, haunted house story in Indiana that Jennifer Patterson had lived through. The investigators performed thorough investigations, methodically capturing multiple electronic voice phenomena, cold spots, strange noises, and even visual anomalies on video.
Yes. Twice on the floor for now.
The investigators, through continuous probing and communication attempts, managed to confirm that the haunting presence was indeed real, not fiction, not exaggerating, just raw, undeniable proof. Every captured sound, every unexplained shadow lent credibility to Jennifer's terrifying experience. And then the truth began to unravel. Through her research and the investigation, Jennifer discovered the identity of the malevolent spirit, Eli Jones, the former owner of the farmhouse. Eli Jones had built the house for his beloved wife, pouring his heart into every corner of the property. But tragedy had struck. His wife died prematurely, and Eli, devastated beyond reason, couldn't let go of his grief. He passed away 7 months before Jennifer moved in, but instead of finding peace, Eli's spirit lingered, twisted by sorrow and unable to release his attachment to the home. This was why Jennifer Patterson was haunted by Eli Jones. Paranormal investigators tried communicating with Eli's spirit. The results were chilling. Eli was territorial, unwilling to share his home with anyone else. His spirit seemed angry, full of regret and rage. As the haunting reached its terrifying peak, the supernatural activity became physical. One night, Jennifer was violently attacked by an unseen force. Her body was left with multiple unexplained bruises, marks that appeared overnight, impossible to explain. This was not a mental illusion or overactive imagination. It was a Jennifer Patterson ghost attack real story, documented by photos and personal testimony. At that point, there was no other choice but to leave. The farmhouse, once a symbol of hope, had turned into a prison of fear. Even today, Jennifer Patterson wonders if Eli Jones still resides in that house, trapped by his grief, haunting the dark corners. If you want more real horror crime stories like this, stories that blur the line between truth and the unexplained, make sure to subscribe to our channel and join us for the next chilling mystery.